Hi there, it's Monday, March 11th, and time for Proverbs 11. We're doing the Revised Standard this month, and I'm backing it up today with the Newer International just to have a different take on things. So let's jump over there. Get a little smaller here. There we go. And we'll get into it. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. All right. It seems like there's always been trouble with dishonest scales, people that's selling things, cheating, Put a weight on one side of the scale, so it seems like you're buying more than you actually are. Okay. Today they call that shrinkflation. Or they put a less amount of stuff in a larger package and charge you the same or even more for it, so you're not getting as much. The Lord hates that. Okay? The Lord hates it. Or over here it says the Lord detests dishonest scales. Right? When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with the humble is wisdom. That's huge. That is huge right there. If you're prideful, you show off, you're bragging, you're going to get disgraced. If you want wisdom, be humble. That's one of the overriding things from all of Proverbs is be humble. And it's interesting when we are going through the beginning of the Old Testament and through the Bible in a year, Exodus, Numbers, just started Deuteronomy. And it mentioned in Numbers, I was talking about Moses, that nobody on earth was as humble as Moses. That's interesting. God said it, so it must be true, right? Okay, verse 3. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Right? Integrity. Let's have some fun, shall we? See what the old Bing Dictionary says about integrity. The quality of being honest. Integrity is the quality of being honest and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. Get that? Consistently being honest. There you go. Integrity. Number 4, riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Right? You can't take it with you. You cannot take it with you. Got that? Number 5, the righteousness of the blameless keeps his way straight, but the wicked falls by his own wickedness. Right? Number 6, the righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the treacherous are taken captive by their lust. Right? Righteousness, righteousness. When the wicked dies, his hope perishes, and the expectation of the godless comes to naught. Right, comes to naught. Comes to nothing. Where are we at? Oh yeah, 8. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and the wicked gets into it instead. Yeah. Wicked people always end up getting in trouble, don't they? With his mouth, the godless man would destroy his neighbor, but by knowledge the righteous are delivered. The godless man would destroy his neighbor. I have some neighbors like that. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there are shouts of gladness. Kind of wait for that, huh? Hopefully by the end of this year, things will pick up, right? 11. By the blessing of the upright a city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. Boy. Look at some of these blue cities now. Okay? Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. You know, Minneapolis, Philadelphia. They're wicked cities. And is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. We won't say who they are, but I gave you a hint when I said blue cities. So that should be enough for you. 12. He who belittles his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. Oh, that's important, this part right here. A man of understanding remains silent. Keep your mouth shut, right? Just keep your mouth shut. 13. He goes on about he who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Gossip, right? But he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing hidden. Well, that's very important. Yeah, and it says it over here better. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Okay? God hates gossip. One of the main things that he absolutely hates is gossip. And it goes on in the church. I say this all the time. If somebody comes up to you in confidence and tells you about a problem and wants you to pray for them, you keep that to yourself. Okay? You don't. As soon as you tell one other person about somebody else's problem, you are a gossip or a talebearer. And even it will help me pray for this person, because he says, no, you just want to tell that person this other guy's problems and be a gossip. Don't do that. God hates that. You can tell that's one of my soapboxes, huh? Okay, this gossip goes on everywhere now. 14, where there is no guidance, a people falls. But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. Yeah. 15, he who gives surety for a stranger will smart for it. But he who hates suretyship is secure. Okay, that's kind of weird. What's that say over here? He who puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer. But whoever refuses to shake hands in a pledge is safe. This means, and it says this all over Proverbs too, okay? Don't co-sign for somebody, okay? Your friend, your kids come up, I'm buying this from here, will you guarantee my loan for me? You are taking up surety for a stranger. Somebody you don't even know is selling your friend or your kid something they may or may not need. And it says don't co-sign for them. Just don't do that. Okay? Okay, 16. A gracious woman gets honor, and violent men get riches. What? A kind-hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Right? Only wealth and nothing else. Money does not make you happy. Money makes things. It seems like the more money you have, the worse off you are. You know. I mean, look at all these celebrities and all these rock stars and stuff. They're all in rehab and on drugs, and they're having problems. And no thanks. No thanks. 17. A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. That's pretty straightforward, huh? Be kind. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything to be kind. I got lost here. We're on 18. A wicked man earns deceptive wages, but one who sows righteousness gets a sure reward. Reading it over here. A sure reward. 19. I got lost again. He who is steadfast in righteousness will live, but he who pursues evil will die. Got that? Truly the righteous attain life. Verse 20. Men of perverse mind are an abomination to the Lord, but those of blameless ways are his delight. Hearts are perverse. That's, you know what perverse means. Perverted, you know. Yeah. God doesn't like perverts. It says it right there. Abomination to the Lord. 21. So we highlight that. Just, yeah. Perverts. 21. Be assured, an evil man will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will be delivered. Okay, this is a guarantee we need right now, isn't it? But I tell you what. Because we know there's evil going on, and the righteous people are trying to punish the righteous people for being right. But it says in the Bible, they will be delivered, and the evil will not go unpunished. It's good stuff, huh? Hey, 22. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout, swine is a beautiful woman without discretion. Right? There's lots of beautiful women, especially on TV and stuff. They have no discretion and no honor, you know, especially these rock stars, these singers. Most of the female singers, you know, they're beautiful, but they have no discretion, and it's disgusting, you know. It's no better than putting a gold ring in a pig's nose. Okay, just 23. The desire of the righteous ends only in good. The expectation of the wicked in wrath, anger, punishment. Right. 24. One man gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Okay, that's very important too. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Okay, if you give to the poor, give to the church freely, God will give you back, will pay you back with interest. Okay. I think Charles Stanley, a long time ago, put it in a very good way. He says you have a cup. You say your cup runneth over. The Lord fills your cup, and once it's full, and you won't get any more. But if you pour your cup out, right? If you pour your, I'm not pouring my coffee out, okay? If you pour your cup out and keep pouring it, he's giving to the poor, God will continue to fill your cup. The more you pour out, the more he fills it. So, and that's a continual thing of keep pouring your cup out, keep giving freely, and God will keep filling it, overflowing it. Okay? That's what my cup runneth over means. And it seems like these people who are, man, they get so much stuff and they're so blessed, and, you know, you can bet that they're giving freely, you know. And they're not telling you about it. You're not supposed to tell about it. That makes you a philanthropist, and you won't get anything for that, okay? So, yeah, that's a good lesson right there. One man gives freely and yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want, or comes to poverty. All right? 25. And now I don't like this in here. A liberal man will be enriched. They've taken the word liberal and make that. And one who waters himself will himself be watered. Now let's read that over here. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. That's what it means, okay? Not liberal. It's somebody who is generous. And they always do better. Generous people always do better, right? Because people like them. And if you refresh others, you yourself will be refreshed, right? And one who waters will himself be watered. That's a good one. I have that over here. So, and it kind of goes with the one above there. One man gives freely, it grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want or comes to poverty. A generous man will be enriched, and one who refreshes others will himself be refreshed or watered. That's good stuff. Let's highlight those all together because they go together. Okay? The people curse him who holds back grain. This is 26. But a blessing is on the head of him who sells it. You know, somebody who gets... I mean, we've all known somebody in our lives who has lots of stuff. Is rich, but they're stingy and they won't give you anything. And, and there's people like that. They're just stingy. They call them prudes. And, but that's what this means. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray God's blessing on one who's willing to sell. Right? Some people don't. And this is not giving to the poor. This is, in hard times. And some people say hard times are coming. And some people are storing up stuff and, storing up food and canned goods and, filling up their freezers and stuff. And when the time comes and people run out of stuff, if you're willing to help them out, hey, barter and sell, people will love you for that. So that was 26. 27. He who diligently seeks good seeks favor, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Now, you look for trouble, you're going to find trouble, okay? Right? You look for good, you're going to find it. It's just that easy. We should highlight that too, just because that's a good saying. Look for trouble and you'll find it. Right? Look for good and you'll find it. Right? 28. He who trusts in his riches will wither, but a righteous will flourish like a green leaf. Right? Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Right? And a lot of people trust in their money, and that we see where they end up. Huh? I brought a point up a couple of weeks ago that like 99%, this is a guess, okay, I don't know the statistics, but I'd be willing to guess 99% of the mansions out there were built by somebody else for themselves, and they lost them, and now somebody else came in and got it for a good price, and they're living there. Very few people are living in the mansion that they built for themselves. There are a few, but yeah, he who trusts in his riches will wither. It's just a case in point. Most mansions were built by somebody else, and they lost them. 29. He who troubles his household will inherit wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. He who brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. Only wind. Right. Verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, but lawlessness takes away lives. Right. See now, over here in the NIV, it says the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. And I bet this here it says a wise man. It says two different things. See, that's why you have two versions up, because it says two totally different things, and you're not sure which one is right. Okay. Now we can jump up here to the New American Standard. And I use the New American Standard because it's It's a direct word-for-word translation. Okay. Even more accurate than the King James, if you believe it or not. According to the stats that I've found, from word for word all the way up to paraphrase, where they change everything. The New American Standard, there's only one or two that are below that are more accurate word for word than the New American Standard. So I use that a lot but it says, remember it said in the NIV saves lives. Here in the actual word for word, and there's even a notation here, takes. Yeah, that's where they got it. The fruit of the righteous is the tree of life, and he who is wise wins souls, or takes souls. So when they said takes away lives, it's actually taking souls. You're winning souls for Christ. Okay, so yeah, this is wrong. But lawless takes away lives. See, it actually says here, Hebrew says a wise man, but they put lawlessness. Interesting. Yeah, that's an excellent example of why you use multiple versions of the Bible. Okay? And I always have two up so we can compare. And like I say, I brought up a third one. Okay, verse 31. If the righteous is requited on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? Requited. If the righteous will be rewarded in the earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? Let's look this up, just for fun. Requite. Past tense, requited, past participle. Make appropriate return for a favor, service, or wrongdoing. So you could say forgiven, or if the righteous is forgiven on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? How much more the wicked and the sinner? Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense to me either. But let's go back to the NIV again. If the righteous receive their due on earth. Yeah, let's say that makes sense when you say their due. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner will receive their due? So yeah, it's going to be found out in a different version that it helps. If the righteous is requited, or if they get what's owed them, how much more the wicked and the sinner? Oh, there you go. That's Proverbs 30, or Proverbs 11, and we kind of went on and on today. Oh, we talked about most of these, false balances, shrinkflation. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. Always be humble, or you will be disgraced. Okay? Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, or on the judgment day. Okay? Your money won't help you. Righteousness delivers from death. Highlighted 11. By the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. Look at all these blue cities today, and they are falling apart. Why? Because they put wicked people in office. And some of them aren't in office honestly. Some of them actually stole those positions, okay, or bought those positions. And we highlighted 12. He who belittles his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. That's why we hold that. Keep your mouth shut, okay? The best defense is always to keep your mouth shut. Highlighted 13. He who goes about as a gossip reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing hidden. And over here in the NIV it says, a gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. I can't say enough about this. Do not gossip. God absolutely hates that. If somebody tells you something in confidence, you keep it in confidence. Don't tell anybody. Okay? Yeah, we highlighted 15. Don't co-sign for people. Okay? Don't co-sign for people. It's just that simple. And 20. Men of a perverse mind are an abomination to the Lord, but those of blameless ways are his delight. Okay? Perverse mind. Now, there's so much of that going on today. I'm sorry, but it's true. We go into perverse minds, but that's where the word pervert comes from. Okay? Somebody's saying there's something that they're not, doing things that they shouldn't, wearing clothes that they shouldn't, are an abomination to the Lord. Okay? Enough said about that. 21. Be assured an evil man will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will be delivered. Okay? Sooner or later, the righteous and the evil will be punished, and the righteous will be delivered. That's a hope we have to stand on, right? As the world falls apart around us. 24. One man gives freely, yet grows all the richer, and another withholds what he should give and suffers only want. And we talked about this, about the cup. And the more you pour it out, the more God's going to fill it up. Okay? It's not meant to fill up my cup and then you set your cup on a shelf and my cup is full. Okay? If you don't use it, what you don't use will be taken away. Okay? And in here, 25, that liberal is wrong because the meaning has changed over the years. Okay? A generous man will be enriched, or will prosper. And one who waters will himself be watered. Okay? One who refreshes others will be refreshed himself. Okay? 27, he who diligently seeks God seeks favor, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Okay? Look for trouble, you're going to find trouble. Look for good, you'll find good. It's that simple. And we highlighted 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, but lawlessness takes away lives, or wins souls. Okay, this is a little wrong over here. Yeah. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, but one who is wise saves lives, or wins souls. Takes souls is the actual word-for-word translation from the Hebrew or Greek or whatever it is. So they put it a little wrong here, But there you go. That's Proverbs 11. We went on a little longer than usual, but the more you study these, the more acquainted with them you get, and the deeper they get, and the more they sink in. And that's what wisdom is. So let's be wise. Stay tuned later for Through the Bible in One Day. We started Deuteronomy yesterday, and we're going to continue that today. Catch something you may have missed. Give us a like if you think about it. Till later. Have a good day.